Good morning and happy Saturday, you guys. It is Amanda and Barron with Kickin Cancer Cares on KSLM Radio, 104.3 FM and 1220 AM. Our sponsor for this first half is Mike from Odd Moe's Pizza. And if you guys have not had their pizza yet, oh my gosh, it is so good. Fresh ingredients. I am obsessed with their Green Monster, of course, but I'm going to skip over to that and do their potato poppers. Oh my gosh, they're so good. And yeah, and they're baked. So they're the healthier option instead of deep fried, and they are so good. And they have like a little tiny hint of spice, but hardly any at all. So if you don't like spice, these would still be amazing to you.
Well, when I first tried it, they were like a jalapeno popper, but they're not.
Right, no.
There's a little bit of jalapeno in there.
Tiny bit. Yeah. Tiny bit. I got to turn up your mic here. There we go. Sorry about that. And then their wings. Oh my gosh, their wings are to die for. And he's actually won a few awards at Best Willamette Valley for those wings are so stinking good. So
yeah, I was with someone the other day and they were actually surprised. I said, if you've never had Odd Moe's wings, like they've got some meat on them.
Oh my gosh,
they're a seriously good wing.
They are. So definitely go check them out.
So
Mike's with Odd Moe's Pizza.
Mike's with Odd Moe's Pizza. Well, our guest last week was the mother with Elena, Amanda, and the aunt and Monica, and they bravely told that story.
Yes. That was a difficult one for me. That was a hard one. I think the hardest part was that she's still in her battle in the unknown and just not having answers and what direction they're going and just battling through it. I think that was I
think that's the hardest part when there's a kid involved. You don't know for sure what's going to happen and you just take it day by day.
Yeah, and mom is just doing her absolute best and trying to survive and stay afloat with everything that's going on. That's not easy, especially when it's a child, because you've got to accommodate and be their ride for everything and all things while also still being the provider for your family, and then their other children while still being a mom and making sure that they've got all the things that they need.
Because there's two older brothers there.
Right, and so it's, that's a hard one.
Well, that's also our update, because on the 28th, which is just a week and a half away, is the golf tournament down in Staten.
Okay.
And we've had some really good response. I want to give a big shout out to Les Schwab out there in Staten. They've decided to sponsor a hole.
That's awesome.
Yep. T-Mobile's going to sponsor a hole.
Okay.
American First, where the aunt works, are sponsoring a hole.
Okay.
So a lot of the businesses are stepping up to help sponsor holes. That's awesome. And that's money that we can then send to the family. So the update is there is still time to sign up teams, to play golf. We would love to just fill this course up on the 28th to really help that family out.
And these proceeds go to the family to use however they see fit and need to just help and take a little bit of burden off of their shoulders.
Yeah, Pacific Stair stepped up a couple years ago and said they wanted to do a tournament each year to help out a local family. And this was the local family for this year.
Okay.
And so we're just excited that this tournament is so close.
Yeah.
The family can benefit from it.
So how do people sign up to either be a golfer, a team of golfing, or sponsor a hole?
So if you go to our website, which is kicking-cancer.org, there's a section that says events. And on the 28th of July, it has this event on it. So you click on that date, and then it's going to give you all the details to sponsor a hole, to get a team involved, however you want to do it. There's an easy form right there to fill out.
Okay. Can we talk costs just so it...
Sure, yeah.
Because it's not expensive at all.
It's not. It's $500 for a team, which is going to give you your golf. We're going to have a lunch afterwards, so there's your cost for the team. And again, net proceeds go to the family.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor a hole, it's $500 to sponsor a hole. So either way, it's about $500. Get your business involved or your team involved.
Yeah. And how many can be on a team?
4.
Okay. Perfect.
So they're 4-person teams. It's called a best ball scramble. So most golfers are familiar with that term. It just means that all 4 of you hit, you go to where the best ball is at, and you hit again.
Okay, perfect. And then what if there's like one person or 3 people that want to join? How would that work?
So there is a spot there to sign up individually if one person wants to sign up. We do have a couple of individuals who have signed up that we're going to kind of mesh together to create a team for them.
Okay.
Hopefully you can create your own team, but if not, we'll help you create a team.
Perfect. So there's options if you don't have a full team and all of that as well.
There's still a way to get involved and play.
Okay, perfect. Now, what if someone's like, I am not a golfer, but I want to help and I want to contribute or donate to this family?
Simple way to go in there as well. We're creating a spot on our Give Box account with the family so you can donate. Or you can just send us a message and say, I want to donate to the family too.
Okay.
And, not golf, but assist it in that way as well.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Awesome.
So lots of ways to get involved.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. All right.
So, our food out of the magazine this week is one that I have talked about a lot, tomatoes.
Okay.
I am truly amazed at how many benefits tomatoes have. What the magazine says is tomatoes deliver lycopene and other carotenoids, phytochemicals that help protect against certain cancers and age-related vision problems.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And those aren't the only benefits. Tomatoes are excellent for heart health, because they are packed with potassium, a mineral that's essential for maintaining healthy blood pressure to keep your ticker strong in the long term.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, my wife's father was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Oh, okay.
And he did some research, figured out that lycopene was in tomatoes. And for whatever reason, prostate cancer specifically does not like lycopene.
Oh, okay.
So we would go visit, and there was always some fresh salsa on the table. He would just grow his own tomatoes, so he knew how they were being grown organically, right? And then he would just make salsa all the time.
Just salsa, okay.
We had salsa on eggs in the morning. If you did mashed potatoes, salsa on the mashed potatoes. Tons and tons of benefits from tomatoes.
Good for him. We're actually having tomatoes tonight. Well, I do not like tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
So I won't be having them, but we're doing BLTs for dinner, which is kind of a nice, easy summer dinner. Yeah. So I was like, what all do you guys want on it? And my husband's like, tomatoes. And I'm like, and he's like, it's a BLT.
It's a BLT. You got to get the tomato on there. Yeah.
So most of my household will be having tomatoes tonight.
Well, tomatoes are super easy to use on lots of stuff if you're a tomato fan.
Yes. My sister eats them like an apple.
Oh, yeah.
She'll just bite into them and eat them like that.
Just eat them like an apple, huh?
You can put them on your burgers. You can have every once in a while, my husband will do cucumbers and tomatoes.
Oh,
with a little bit of salt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Or tomatoes and cottage cheese.
Okay.
We'll do that too. Just dice up tomatoes and add cottage cheese.
Okay.
Lots of fun ways to eat tomatoes.
Yes, there are. All right, perfect.
I thought it'd be kind of fun. We've got a little breaking guests that have been coming in to go back to the book that I started this whole thing with, this anti-cancer living book.
Okay.
I was given this book several years ago, and it talks in here about these core values, these mix six. He calls it the mix six, but ways to transform your life and your health through the mix six. As I began reading, I thought, well, we could utilize those points to become like the main things within Kickin Cancer. Mm-hmm. And so I thought we could go back through and talk about each of these core values, but then kind of do a highlight of some of our previous guests.
Okay, perfect.
And how each of them kind of fit within the core value itself.
Perfect. I love it.
Now, interestingly enough, we did the same thing he did, and he puts social support as the number one value. The first thing that he has in here. And I like what he has to say in here. He says, we have chosen to put social support in the top spot. With diet and exercise are critical, of course, along with other pillars. But Alison, that's the person he wrote the book along with, Alison and I have found that support is the backbone on which all other lifestyle changes will either succeed or fail.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking back on some of the guests we've had in the past that have created some pretty good support organizations. One of them is Breast Friends.
Yes.
Were you familiar with Breast Friends before this show? Had you ever heard of them?
No.
So as you got to know Marianne, as you got to know Alison, what are kind of your thoughts on this organization of Breast Friends?
Love.
Yeah.
Those two women really wrap their arms around everybody that comes to them, and they just love on them and support them and be there for them as best as they can and guide them with all different types of information and education and just being there and letting them know you're not alone.
Right.
You're not alone, and we are here. And then this is where we meet. This is how we do it. And you have a great women support group surrounding you.
Unbelievable support group.
Yeah. And so, but just love. Both Marianne and her Alison were just so loving and kind that they had those types of souls that you could approach no matter what and feel like you've known them forever, because they truly love what they do and wanting to help other people.
Yeah. Breast Friends actually celebrated their 25th year this year.
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah. So
that's big.
It's pretty amazing that the two founders that started it, Becky Olson, and her cohort that began Breast Friends, they started just as a way to support each other.
Right.
And then a few more, and now they've got this big organization up in the Tigard area.
Right. Kind of like how your motto, each one, teach one. That's kind of like how it kind of snowball affected with them. Yeah. With the community and outreaching and having different chapters. Like Mary Ann took over Salem, correct? Yeah. Yeah. So I like how it was a snowball effect of helping all these women not be alone. And there's people in those groups that were, still had breast cancer, fighting through it, had no longer had it anymore, but they were still such a great support that those women that were then cured still went and were participating in it. Well, because it's that big of a program and has that much love and support.
I know Mary Ann, when I talked to Mary Ann, she would leave Salem, she'd go up to Tigard, which is where their main office is at. And she began to go, well, that's a long way to drive. How can I begin to set it down here? So theirs aren't technically chapters, so to speak. Oh, okay. But they're just communities in other areas. Yes. And so then Mary Ann began to create one down here in the Salem area. Somebody else has created one on the east side of Portland. Yeah. So you got out in the Gresham area. Someone's even further out in the Hillsborough area. And each of them have their own things that they do, whether it be just get together for walks. Right. I know that they had a bingo night one night. Just ways for women to come together to show support for each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's an interesting other statistic inside this book that talks about support. I thought I'd bring that up as well. This is a study that was done at Ohio State University College of Medicine in Columbus, Ohio, and found that women who reported lower levels of social support prior to cancer treatment experienced higher levels of pain and depression. Okay. So less support, higher levels of pain and depression. In addition, their blood work taken before treatment, as well as 6 months later, showed increased levels of a gene linked to inflammation. Oh. Which we know is closely tied to cancer growth and progression. So based on these findings, the Oregon State researchers concluded that early interventions targeting survivors' social networks could improve quality of life during survivorship. Yeah. And again, one of those it's hard to quantify what social support does, but they were actually seeing evidence within the blood work of how much it was helping.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know, right?
That is. Well, even like Amanda and her aunt Monica, is that what? She even said like being there because she looked at how she can help and what she can do and how she's doing fundraisers and making bracelets and how she reached out to you and her main thing was being consistent. Also. Yep. Not just okay, I'm here for you and then I'm going to disappear for a while. No, consistently checking in. What do you need? How can I help? Staying involved because this is something that they're in for the long run. And having support for just a short few weeks in the beginning is great, but it needs to be consistent because this is a long-term battle.
Long-term battle, yeah.
So consistency is key, and even little ways like the aunt, and Breast Friends. That's a big group versus a little support versus a big support. They're all necessary.
Yeah. Well, the other one that's been actually called in a couple different times was Eric and Cynthia Buther.
Yes.
From the East Coast.
Yes.
So, and it's interesting to me how that all came together.
I know, yeah.
I get this message from Cynthia. So let me back up for a second. We were supporting Ozzy down there in Albany, and Ozzy had a specific kind of a brain tumor, and he had the family connected with the people on the East Coast. Well, she's watching that we're going to be interviewing Eric, interviewing mom and dad. And so they said, hey, when Shyla and JJ come on, can I call in? And that was a very emotional episode when she called.
Very. Shyla lost it.
She completely lost it.
Well, and she even said, like, we have your picture on our fridge, because she recognized her voice right away. Like, she was hanging on to that hope and Cynthia's voice and everything, because she had gone through everything that Shyla was going through.
Right.
And so it meant the world to her.
she recognized Cynthia's voice immediately.
Yeah, she did.
Was thrilled that they were there.
Yeah, she broke down in tears and she was wowed. That was a really cool moment.
It was a cool moment.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, too, that here they are, their son Santiago passed from that particular type of brain cancer. But they have big events they do on the East Coast to bring families together who are dealing with that particular kind of brain cancer.
Yeah.
And that's a really big support group over there, too.
It is.
I know one of them that I've seen, they do it on social media. They call it Santiago Strong, but they're doing a big bowling event.
Okay.
So you spend $20 to go bowling, but it's some more proceeds they can use to help other families like JJ and Shiloh.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that one was really cool.
That was.
The second core value inside of the book is stress.
Okay, that's a big one.
That's a big one.
It's a hard one to avoid.
It's a hard one to avoid. It's really hard to avoid stress in our lives. And if we don't figure out how to control the avoid, don't figure out how to recognize stress and control stress, then it becomes really difficult to deal with it within our bodies.
Yeah.
And I thought about, as I was looking back on our previous events, we went to Kate's yoga studio.
Yes, that was fun.
So, in fact, all three of us got involved in different types of yoga at that particular one. And ways to just get stress out of your body utilizing yoga. So what are your big memories of that particular trip?
I still do I think it was, I can't remember what she called it, but the 4-4-4 with the breathing.
Box
breathing, I think. Yes. I still do that. And I still shake it out. And because when my body gets overwhelmed, I get really shaky. And my husband always jokes with me like, oh, my little leaf is shaking like a leaf.
So when you get stressed, you begin shaking?
Yeah, or just uncomfortable or like any type of emotion that my body just isn't fond of, I start shaking really bad, like trembling.
Wow.
It's really annoying.
So it's easy to tell when you're having issues.
Very easy. Yeah, just uncomfortable moments. And so I will shake it out and do my box breathing. The 4, breathe in, hold it, breathe out. And just repeat.
Does it calm your bodies down?
It does. Yeah. Well, it helps me take my mind off of that, and it just focuses and starts to regulate my body and put it back on a normal breathing schedule and try to kind of get the shakes out, and then I'll shake the shakes out and then do my box breathing.
Yeah.
So I utilize that still to this day.
Well, I remember thinking that there was ways that you could deal with hyperarousal.
Yes.
And hypoarousal.
Yeah.
And there was different yoga techniques that you did and I did and Ashley did that dealt with both of those.
Right.
Or individually or combined. So that was really interesting how to deal with the stress.
Yeah. Yeah. I liked that. Stress is no matter whether you've got cancer or not, there is stress within all of our lives.
Yes.
Period.
Stress is not going to go away.
No. So we just got to figure out how to deal with it.
Well, I thought it would be interesting in again, going back to the book, he talks about taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. And for so many people, like the aunt we were just talking about, you're there for the person with the cancer. But how do you take care of yourself? So I thought it'd be really interesting to go through a few of the tips that they have inside the book here.
Okay.
It says, the stress of caring for a loved one can become chronic and lead to reduced immune function and increased inflammation and disease and early death in the caretakers.
Oh, wow.
So if you are the caretaker, it's really easy to focus all your efforts on the person who has the situation, but you've got to take care of yourself as well.
Yeah.
So here's 6 things that they had. First, don't go it alone. Social support is a key to maintain your sanity and your health. This might mean reaching out to friends and loved ones or join a caregiver support group where people can relate to what you're going through. There was a time for you when you guys had to deal with your son's situation.
Yeah.
Was there any kind of support group for you within that organization?
Yeah, so we were young, really young, and we were in Philadelphia because that's the hospital that was equipped to handle all of his needs.
Right.
And they had, there was a few other families that had the same condition as my son Michael did there, and we all were staying at the Ronald McDonald House, and so we would all get together and talk, and but I'm not going to lie. I was young then also.
Sure,
I had turned 18 while in Philadelphia with
wow.
my son. So I was just a baby with a baby.
Right.
And so my coping skills and everything weren't quite there. And I remember just being frustrated because all of the other kids were getting better. And Michael wasn't. And we were the first ones there and the last ones to leave. So we got to just watch all these people come and go with success stories while my son was still in a coma and not waking up. And it was like, so there was some types of resources and groups and gatherings that we did, but I think I was too young to understand what was going on.
Yeah.
And angry that my son wasn't getting better and confused. It
couldn't have been easy for you that you were the first ones in and people would come in and leave and come in and leave. And you're
but
still
we
there.
had, at the time, my mother-in-law, she was amazing. She actually took leave from work and came and stayed with us the whole time. She actually had to leave a few months early, I think. But then I had my mom came and visited. My Grammy came and visited. I had my high school best friend at the time came and visited. So we had a lot of friends.
How long were you there?
We were there for 6 months.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, we were there for a really long time and across country. I mean, I had my 18th birthday while there. So we were staying at the Ronald McDonald House, which was a huge support all in itself also, because we had to pay a small amount, but it was much cheaper than getting a hotel.
Takes a lot of the burden off from you when you're trying to do housing.
So much burden. And then they gave us like meal vouchers. We each got a meal voucher a day for the hospital food, and so that helped a lot. And so there was a lot of resources within the hospital itself and the Ronald McDonald House for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, navigating that, I think my mother-in-law was the biggest support for us at that time.
To not be going along on their own.
Yeah, and just the adult in the situation to help guide us.
Well, that's the first one I mentioned, is not going alone. The second one is recognizing your limits. Mm-hmm. I think that was probably another point that you're making there with being there at the Ronald McDonald's house. And how much can you do? You cannot be the perfect aid. If you try to provide everything all the time, you will eventually break down yourself.
Yes.
Find ways to give yourself breaks from constant care, even if that means someone else comes over just for a few minutes or a couple of times a week.
Yes. So when we stayed at the Ronald McDonald House, one of us is always with my son overnight. And my mother-in-law at the time, she would take shifts so that we could have a date day or just go get some good rest without hearing the beeping and the nurses coming in and administering medication and, take a breather for a second.
Yeah.
And so she was again, stepped in and helped us to where we could kind of take a moment to still do that self-care with ourselves.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and that's so valuable for you. I think the third one there is good too. It says set goals for yourself. Mm-hmm. Break tasks into small steps and establish a daily routine. Don't take on added burdens. Say no to people who ask for your help with something outside of your caregiving duties.
Yes.
I think saying no can be a really challenging event for many people.
Yes. I have a hard time saying no to things, but it is really important to set those healthy boundaries.
How much can I do, and what can I not take on extra?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And it says accept help. Mm-hmm. The only way for you to reduce your own burden is to allow other people to help you. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't know the ways of the other person who's caring for you, they don't do things exactly the same way you would. Learn to let go whenever you can.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Number 5, see a doctor. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really valuable. Don't help keep someone else alive at the expense of your own health and well-being.
Yes.
And the last one is to engage in healthier behavioral, engage in healthy behaviors daily. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest problems facing caregivers is that they tend to not take care of themselves mentally or physically. Mm-hmm. So giving yourself a break to go exercise. I think making sure that you're eating good, healthy food at the same time.
Yeah.
I know Danny Warren has been here as a guest before talking about Juice Plus.
Yes.
And a lot of the people that she runs into that are dealing with families where there's a cancer or something, she's making sure that the caregivers are also getting the right kind of nutrition.
Yeah. Everybody's got to be healthy.
You got to take care of yourself too. So those are 6 things that they provided here. Once again, don't go it alone. Recognize your limits. Set goals for yourself. Accept help. See a doctor if you need to, and engage in some healthy behavioral habits daily.
Okay, I love it. Those are all great.
Those are all simple things to work on, take care of yourself, so that the stress doesn't begin to eat away at you as well as the
Absolutely.
person.
Well, speaking of eating away.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
If you guys have not had Oddmo's Pizza, it is absolutely amazing. I love that they've got the fresh ingredients, so it's still healthy options. They've got pizzas that have no meat, or they've got pizzas that are completely loaded with meat and all the things. And they're all so amazing and good. So definitely go check them out. They also have salad and pastas, wings, and desserts. So definitely go check out Oddmo's Pizza.
I always say you can have healthy options or healthier options.
Yes, I love that. Okay, we'll be right back, you guys. Stay tuned.